Yes.
Can you see me? You hear me?
We are kneeling at the river's edge and tempting all the steps to follow closer right behind. Is it only when the part is empty that it's gnawing at the corners of your mind? I will ask you for mercy. I will come to you blind. What you see is the worst me, not the last of my kind. Oh, in the muddy water we're falling. Oh, in the muddy water we're crawling. Hold me down, hold me now, sold me out. In the muddy water we're falling. Oh, oh,
It's my favorite part.
It's not clear why we choose the fire pathway. Where we end is not the way that we had planned. All the spirits gather around like it's our last day. To get across, you know, we'll have to raise the sand. I will ask you for mercy. I will come to you blind. What you see is the worst me, not the last of my kind. Oh, in the muddy water we're falling. Oh, in the muddy water we're falling. Hold me down, hold me down, sold me out. In the muddy water we're falling. Oh, don't fail me now. Put your arms around me and pull me out. Oh, I know I'm found. Put your arms around me. Oh, save me now. Oh, 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 oh. In the muddy water we're falling. Oh, in the muddy water we're falling. Oh, sweet out, hold me now, hold me out. In the muddy water we're falling.
Well, good evening, Black family, and Jesse Paris, Shane Kruma. Welcome to the Revolutionary Agenda, the RVA. I'm your host, Seduction Doll, co-host of Frontline Black News. That I sit with that guy over there, and actual host of the Revolutionary Agenda, and regular contributor of Shabaka Senkoris, Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced. And I am joined today with Shane Kruma. in our prospective little studios. It's cold, so go ahead, Che. Introduce yourself, and then I'll open up the show.
Che and Kruma, Frontline Black News, next mayor of Denver 2023.
That's for sure. That is for sure. Um, it is fucking cold out there, family. It's cold in my house right now. Got the window open. Forgive the lateness. I was actually working on a different platform because sometimes we have problems, you know, um, streaming, and I always have problems. I'm trying to advance the future. I'm trying to stay current. And I've been working on this one thing all fucking day long. And it seemed pretty tight. It did seem pretty tight. Except something with the browser and the windows, and I don't fucking know. I don't know. But it was ultimately very frustrating, and I thought I would be done with it shortly, and I could just check it out real quick, like do practice a little test run or something. Because I did square away time for that. But there was no practice test run. It was like just you can't see yourself, so it's just filming. You don't know where the film is. You don't even know if it's reaching its target destination. It's just a whole bunch of things. So I'm actually I'm gonna like reach out to somebody who kind of knows how to use this particular one and see where it goes, because I feel like that would really make me feel a lot better. I like design the whole fucking thing, like for real, design the whole thing, and I had it set up so that myself, Chain Kruma, usually when I'm over there in his studio, Lady Che, Queen Che, Queen Kruma, whatever, for Live Black News, it would have a perspective platform or a perspective way to stream dually, instead of like we could both do it on the same thing. It would be easier, and we wouldn't run out of space or storage for streaming. On like say for example, uh, what we're using now, StreamYard. After so many videos or so many hours, you run out of space, and then if you delete it, which is what I read, um, you lose the shit. But as much streaming really as we do, they don't have enough hours for that. You know what I mean? They don't have enough hours, and it's the fee and the timing is like it's a lot. So I was here looking at other avenues, and I've been exploring other avenues all week, just doing different things, actually setting up different shit everywhere, and the best basically to enhance Frontline Black News, which is something we been doing together, and then this one, because I always have other shit to talk about. So this is like it's the same. It's on the same lines, the revolutionary agenda, unapologetic, mixed, but it was, we go with unapologetically black here, black person. So you say whatever the fuck you want. I know I will. Um, Even if you might think it's a little on the radical side, I don't care. As long as it's against white supremacy and racism. I pretty much with that part. I don't give a fuck about anything else. So I'm like, actively in trouble all the time for what did you say? Standing up for standing up against white supremacy and fucking coon behavior, and I don't know what else. You know what I mean? But look at this can. It's coming out.
Standing up against negritude.
Yeah, yeah. So I gotta deal with it because I forget that I forget of this shade. Not really. I'm reminded of it every day, but I don't think it really matters to me as much as it matters to everybody else. So I just like to start with, don't let it take away from the message. Yeah. And today I had a plan to go somewhere, and I decided to creep through this area. I figured, like, well, if I don't look like my normal self, maybe I could just get through without limited issues to them. You know what I mean? I can just creep on through. But I guess as I can't do anything, just trying to be incognito, babe. Did I look incognito after I left? I've been sitting here looking at myself for like 30 minutes. No, right? There's no stand out. Like I was trying to sneak around, right? And go handle my business, without causing any traumas to them. My fucking off brands don't know what the fuck they're upset about. And I was just in that mood. I just trying to creep on through, get my shit done, and be on my way. You know what I mean? Without causing any problems. And I was sitting here looking at myself as I'm setting up this thing for me and Shay to sit here and dialogue about some shit. And I'm like, I think I was gonna try to have a fucking disguise and shit. Like, I can't do nothing regular without standing out. I didn't think this was not gonna stand out. Like now that I'm looking at it, you know what I mean? I was really thinking about it when I was getting dressed. I was just like, I'll cover up the twist. I just fixed a little makeup because I was bored. So here I got a little dress on. Okay, maybe I can't see my, I don't know what I was. Now I'm looking at it, babe, I'm like, I failed. I failed in my disguise. Just for me trying. So this is not going to be sneaking around to handle my business. Surely. I didn't really feel like that. I don't feel like myself. But yet, I'm looking at him like, yeah, that's Brandy. Like, can't do nothing regular. My brother even said that when I was making food for myself. I was like, yeah. Don't I look different? He's like, okay. And he's like, come on, Cindy Lauper. Fuck you, cuz, like that. Like, I was like, you don't see him incognito? He's like, you can't be serious. He's like, okay. He's like that, like, okay. I was like, no, I'm in disguise. I'm serious and shit. I guess now, upon looking at myself, definitely, I didn't have to look at myself to get dressed or do makeup. So right now I'm looking at myself because I'm looking at him, and I'm like, what was I thinking? I wonder I'm not gonna think I'm just gonna cruise on through and nobody's gonna see me. I can you not see me. So that's what I was working on. I got kind of bummed out because it's like, God, I failed today. The only thing I did well was behave myself in the fucking program at 2:00. That's the only thing I did well. Behave myself through Brother Jeff's show.
Yeah.
I watched that whole shit.
Running with my girls. I guess I'm in it.
You would have to be. You know that, right?
Yep.
Yeah, because you helped them with all that shit, remember?
Yep.
So you would have to be in it.
We ran a whole slew of candidates for office in 2019. And one of them, Candy Cedar-Baca.
Right? And it's funny how nobody said anything. And I was just sitting there like, didn't this motherfucker? That's what I was thinking to myself, right? And I was like, no, just stop, Brandon. Because the last couple of days, I've been going super hard up in there.
Well, Rebecca don't like me. I don't like her either, so the feeling's mutual.
Yeah.
And Jeff, he pick and choose when he want to shout out somebody.
He pick and choose when he wants to deal with us.
Yeah.
Me, us. It's an us thing, I think now. I just said, hey, and I was sitting there quiet because I knew I couldn't behave myself. You know what I mean? There he made that funny ass he made that funny little, one little funny little whip. I was like, yeah, I'll definitely go see that. I didn't even read the comments.
Yeah, her voice is so damn annoying too. Oh my God.
She's annoying, period. Like, I don't give a fuck what kind of documentary movie you wrote. I'm mad that you played that motherfucking raggedy ass song that didn't get nowhere
Yeah.
in the beginning. Yeah, let me just express my opinion about that song. Message to the mayor. Cause if that song was of any motherfucking value, some shit would have changed immediately. He had no feelings about any of that shit.
It was radio play and everything.
Yeah, it got radio play, but did anything fucking happen until like I want to feel like this is how I'm gonna say it. I want to feel like till we start going really hard, right? That motivated everybody else to go really hard.
Yeah.
Right. So they're getting all the shine like as usual. That's how white supremacy works. Right? Like for example, when the movie came out, how much shit did we shoot? That we didn't get no credit. That we didn't get no credit for, right?
Nope.
Right. And you only got paid and they at least got a camera, but they got some of my footage. You know, but they didn't say, and they even asked me to go with it. You know, they fuck. I hate them fucking people. You see what I'm saying? All right. So you wouldn't think? Why wouldn't you think you would be in this flick too? I was like, oh hell no, I don't even. Man, it's just another thing I'm gonna be upset about. You know what I mean? Immediately.
The first one was better than the second one, and I'm not saying that just because I was in it.
My first message was better than the second one. Mine personally. I have no problems cussing that motherfucker out. I don't think I buckled down in person either. You know?
Well, you have his goon squad.
What are they gonna do?
You never catch him by himself.
But no, I take that back. I think the man of the city could probably get me in there.
Yeah, I could.
I heard it. That's what I said. Did you see me tell him? He's like, oh yeah, PBS will definitely take you there.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, Brother Jerry, you got it like that? Local public broadcasting like that? As a sarcasm, like, come on now.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it got on Rocky Mountain PBS.
Of course it would. Anybody and everybody can get on that shit. For real. Even I know somebody over there. Like, for real, serious shit. I was up in there at least 4 times. Doing some other shit. Like, you know, watching some filming and stuff. Tell you about that later. Can't mention names out here like that. They're introverted. But yeah. No, I was like, well, you got it like that, huh? I'm not easily impressed. You know what I mean? Like, that's not impressive to me. You know what would be impressive to me? Is if you one day are revolutionary, and the next day you're revolutionary, and the next day you're revolutionary, and the next day you're revolutionary, and it carries on. And you stop with this motherfucking prostitution type shit you got going on. Now, you pick and choose on who you selectively want to deal with. And forget that motherfuckers are the motherfuckers you constantly berate, or don't fucking berate, ignore, let's just say ignore, are pretty fucking smart. And know a lot of fucking shit. But they don't want to deal with it. Why? I don't know. Well, I have questions. I don't know. But man, there's many times I've thrown some really good shit at him.
Yeah.
Really helpful, knowledgeable, fucking puts you in the loop type thing. And he didn't even want it.
Yeah.
I saw he gave that. I saw he talked about the fucking thing about the at the horizon.
Oh yeah.
I started laughing. I was like, LOL. I had to control myself, man. Yesterday's show upset me like a motherfucker. Yeah, yesterday's show. Welton Street.
Oh yeah.
Of course, stand behind Welton Street. That's number 1. Of course. No problems. Not even an issue. Not even a question. You know what I mean? I was just having a hard time listening to, like, the personal message and shit. I was having a hard time. So yeah, I was like, man,
Make it to that photo shoot.
what photo shoot?
Oh no, on that photo shoot, they're supposed to have a photo shoot.
Oh yeah, is that what we're gonna do? Is that the fundraiser?
Oh, it's a photo shoot.
Is it nobody acknowledges that the new black media got you? Nobody even acknowledges. I mean, it's just because you have to say it.
Yeah.
Like they like you. You know what I mean? I think all. I want to say it. You gotta say it. I think all coons like you. I don't know why. Because you're not like them.
Yeah, I'm different.
Very. You're like, yeah. That's why. You know what I mean? But they're able to deal with you. No matter how polite I am or nice to them, I get nowhere. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
I'm super fucking polite. Super polite. Super nice. I smile and everything. Like this. No pass. Give it.
Nope.
It's facts. Nobody believes me. It's like, it's facts. Facts. It's almost funny now because I'm older.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, before it would have been more upsetting. It's a little bit because I'm like doing different shit, good shit. I expect this kind of shit when I'm doing bad things.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad Welton Street isn't moving out of the neighborhood or off of Welton Street. It's just moving up the street.
Just mixed feelings about it. And like the air conditioner and shit was all fucked up. And then the building, like, are they gonna own this building this time?
That whole building is fucked up.
That whole building's fucked up. I mean, they've been in there for a long time. But are they gonna own? Are they gonna own this building? The new one? That's my question. And like he was like, oh, she's like, we need $1 million. He's like, we got that. We can help you get that. So confident.
Well, he's a millionaire, so.
But he's not gonna give her that much. You know what I mean? And they're thinking on the right terms, like one person donate $1, $2, blah blah blah. They thinking like that. That's how I was thinking. Cause that's a big number. And that number is overwhelming. You know what I mean? But he was just like, oh yeah, like he just can make that happen. I don't see how you're gonna do that. Because I remember when the whole heating and AC thing went down. I was like majorly advocating for that. For them not to fail. You know what I mean? I mean, like, there's not very much left on that part of Welton, really. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's really, really fucking upsetting me. Like, it really is upsetting to me because the pandemic.
And we remember what it used to look like.
Yeah, I remember what it used to look like. I remember what it used to look like during major motherfucking things. And you had nothing but a whole fucking street filled with black people. Fucking black people everywhere. Every fucking where.
All day, every day.
All day. Every fucking day. Nothing but looks. I mean, fucking everybody's out there. Well, fucking holidays might get a little live. You know what I mean? But they pull themselves together a little later on, you know? And man, that's how I remember. That's how I remember it. I mean, that's how I remember that. And last time I saw that, I didn't even see that many. Like, you remember when the protest was going on, right? And they went down Welton, kind of, right? They did. The protest went right down Welton. Are you hear me? You're on mute. You're muted. All right. Anyway, family. Who takes a call in the middle of a broadcast, but only Che? So when George Floyd was murdered and they had the protest here, that's probably the last time I saw that many people on Welton walking down Welton. They went back around and they went towards back down towards downtown. I know I was walking with them. I was in a wheelchair then, and the then mate I had, we were walking in with the march a couple times, okay. And so it's the same area where I would be randomly homeless at, and that was probably the most people I had seen in a really long time. The sad part about that part was there was probably more white people in that march than there was our beautiful fucking brothers and sisters. Not like it used to be. Not like it used to be. Not at all. Like, not at all. It might seem bad because I'm upset about it because I avidly fucking shed a tear every time we're on Welcome. Even in that area, because that area has made a dramatic motherfucking change. A dramatic change. Like, it's almost all white. You know what I mean? And the fucking the little black people here are here. They're not. They're bourgeoisie. They're motherfucking bougie. They're Hasididi thinking. You know what I mean? They're whitewashed and different programmed, and they think money is the end all to be all. You know what I mean? They don't know what it's like to be fucking regular fucking people anymore. They don't know what it's like to fucking have soul and fucking fucking community at all, right? So when I hear fucking mark ass shit, I'm trying to compose myself. He could have just got on and talked to you. Shout out to Brother Shabaka's Inquiry of Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced. Anyway, so yeah, they're different. I remember, I was telling Jay that there's only certain places in this area, in Aurora and Denver, where black people used to really be there used to be black community, right? And I felt more comfortable then, there. And you ask him live my witness. I have a natural, very, very fucking real fear of white people. Right? Real fucking fear of white people. I don't even want to get into why. But when we came from LA, my parents finally got a house in South Aurora. I didn't ever think I was going to go into the system or anything like that. So I didn't really even know I didn't know that, my brother's father was raising me since I was a baby, since I was born. I didn't know any of that shit. I just thought I knew. I mean, your fucking life is going to go one way from one day to the next, and you're going to be figuring it all out as you grow up in the fucking street in the system, So when I went in the system, terrible shit happened, and my face was already broken, and so I ended up in Curtis Park. I was fucking 12 years old. You know what I mean? So that's all I've known since I was a little girl. Like 12 years old to me is still a little girl. I was a little girl. You know what I mean? So I remember what it was like going on in Curtis Park and running around the east side and chasing I would call them my older brothers from the set. You know what I mean? Different sets. And I feel like that's my home. It's my family. I don't have to feel embarrassed or ashamed or confused. You know what I mean? Like,
right. That was back on 5 points. That's back when 5 Points had a bad reputation.
Right, you
Where
couldn't go down there if you were white,
go
like
there
you
after dark.
or another. You were repping
Female
a
wouldn't go
different
there
thing.
after dark.
Mm-hmm.
I remember living next to the East Villages, and we couldn't order pizza after 6.
Yeah, because they wouldn't come. They wouldn't come. They'd be late. You're late. I don't think anybody really looked at me differently like they do nowadays. You know what I mean? Like with the whole colorism shit.
Yeah.
Like I didn't really experience like with us. I didn't feel it like that.
Mhm.
Now that I do, as I'm older, because if I'm gonna blame it on you, it's all your fault. You're ready for office. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I was still like out there the street, nobody would even give a fuck, or we wondered about it, or have to fucking explain it, justify it, or fucking get defensive over it. You know what I mean? But and then life changes, and so it's something you have to deal with. And some days it really is upsetting because you don't know what you're doing wrong, really, and you just like, don't you fucking see me, like, you know what I mean? And
Keep a lookout for Shabaka. He should be joining us shortly.
I hear you, but you know what I mean, like. It's a real fucking thing. It's a real fucking thing, especially with like I didn't even my real super tight friends that I have personally, tight sisters.
Yeah.
I mean, not like these ones. You know what I mean? And they find it like they act like you, like women have a hard time making friends. No, we don't. No, we don't. And I have, especially the secure one. I'm a secure one. We have a hard time making friends. We don't at all. It's them. It's them. It's stereotyping, judgmental bullshit, which is really a fucking problem because it's that type of shit that creates other dramas everywhere else in a person's life. You know what I mean? When you have some type of broad like that, that's like off brand or fucking, I want to say off brand, everybody's like that would be, but like something that'll constantly be and make you feel some kind of way, and then it creates other little madnesses in different parts of your life. With different parts of your relationships with everybody. You mean it got you questioning shit and looking at yourself differently. Like I had days where like recently, and I'm looking at myself like, the fuck is like, is it? Why do I have to keep saying that? Why do I have to keep saying, don't let this take away from that? Or
Right.
stop acting like that. I can't help it that you feel some kind of way because I'm pretty. Or some days, it's not all the time I'm like that. This is I have to be exuding it that day for some odd weird reason. I'm not doing it on purpose. I was meant to shine. I came in here like this. This isn't a fucking developed thing. I'm the only one out of them. Just like out of my family, I'm different. You know what I mean? I came in bright like this. You know what I mean? Not just but bright. My energy's bright. So this is really bothers me. It really does because it says like enough's enough. Like you at some point you gotta put that shit aside so we can do other shit.
Right.
Because right now that's kind of like what's hindering a process for me. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They won't let me do shit, and I can't learn nothing even if I wanted to.
You
Here,
talking about Carl Black Women for Political Action?
not just them. I'm talking about all those types, especially when it comes to what we're doing with your campaign and everything. You mean, good evening, brother Shabaka. Welcome. Okay, okay. Well, when he gets back in, um, you know what I mean. So it's hindering me with a lot of things. Like, how can I be at my best to help somebody? And really, I didn't really want to do that shit in the first fucking place because it wasn't me. So now that I've got accustomed to that whole motherfucking scenario, you're gonna still not let me do it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? You know how long it took me to get there? 9 months. 9, 10 months of fucking fuck no, fuck no, fuck no. Now I'm like, all right, I'm ready, let's go. You know what I mean? I know what I'm meant to be. I mean, there's no like that motherfucking like that Terrence thing where he's like, I want to be a revolutionary. Either you are or you aren't, cuz.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
is. Either you are or you aren't, cuz. You know what I mean? Either you're gonna be
If
who
I
you
may
are or
say,
you're not. Yes, sir. Good
okay,
evening,
first
brother Shabaka.
place, if I may say something.
Go ahead, Shabaki.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
See, revolutionaries are born. It's something that's already in them.
Right.
Exactly.
You see?
Exactly.
No, seriously.
No, I'm being
Okay,
serious too.
seriously.
I'm being very serious.
Okay,
Very serious.
and then on the real is that a lot of times a revolutionary be standing by himself too,
Exactly.
regardless of what, you
Isn't that
know,
what I always say,
other
Jess?
motherfuckers would say. You
Mhm.
see what I mean?
Damn it.
And
Isn't that what I've always said, Jesse? All days I feel I'm all alone.
Yeah.
It's a reality. It's so that's factual shit. Shabaka, factual shit. We were talking about
oh
that old
yeah, well you
Terrence
see,
Roberts, man. That old Terrence
okay,
Roberts said he wanted to be a
well,
revolution.
well, and then you have a lot of those that came to the conclusion, you know, down through history. Well, I didn't choose the revolution; it chose me. You know what I mean? But you know, whatever type of circumstance will kick it off, such as what Newton was doing, you know, over 55 years ago. You know, with all these damn police killings and shit like that. So he took it upon himself, you know, to study law in the great state of California, as fucked up as it is.
Mhm.
And he did tell, you know, the people as they joined his organization, once you walk on this path, you're doomed.
Mhm.
See, that's off in his memoirs. You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying? And then, but in every revolution, there is somebody with a vision that causes a spark. Rather be an act of what they do or a political situation, commercial situation, whatnot, like what you got currently going on in these times. And I do want to say, earlier today, I just found out that F.W. de Klerk of the president of South Africa, who was the last president of the so-called apartheid era in Azania, because the real name is Azania of it, and made de Klerk rest in piss, like P.W. Boda.
Yeah, nobody's
Like
really
Ian
happy about it,
Smith.
right? Nobody's happy about him fucking. You know what I mean? Like they're like, yeah, we could have did better with the that motherfucker could have. Yeah, they could have did better, but yeah, he's gone. He's gone. Brother
And
Lynch, rest of this.
but you're fading in and out.
You can't hear me? I was eating something.
Yes, I could hear you now, yeah. And they probably fucking with our algorithms again, because a lot of people on my friends list were saying the same thing.
Yeah.
And then we're doing a special edition on Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced this Sunday. And we're just going to talk about the issue of critical race theory.
That shit is crap.
And the research that I've done on it, that the shit is whack.
Yeah,
They want us to forget. They want us to forget the brutalization. They want us to sit here and sing Kumbaya, scratch our ass and head and say, yeah, Mr. Charlie, we sure do love you. And don't want us to recognize the brutalization. So with the narrative that we're quite familiar with, the other groups, you got to go hold and scratch your own nuts. We can't fuck with you no more.
Yeah, they've been doing it this whole time. This should be no different. Y'all have abandoned us forever. No different. Carry on. Carry on.
And what it is that you got these coons ass scratchers, Yassa Bosses, Uncle Tim Scott, Mayor Hancoon, Uncle Tom Bradley, Los Angeles. You know, Obama with his sorry ass. You know what I
Don't
mean?
forget Clybourne.
Don't forget who?
Clybourne.
Oh, yeah, that motherfucker. Yeah. Another ass scratcher. And what we have to do, Black family, is that we're going to have to turn our backs on these clowns. And we're going to have to let it be known on a collective basis that these motherfuckers do not represent us.
Right.
It's because they're selling us down the fucking toilet on a regular basis. They are compensated to sell us down the toilet. Okay? Look what they did to Colin Kaepernick.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? Look what they did to him.
You know, that's the thing.
Look what they did to John Carlos and Tommy Smith.
Yep.
In 1968.
They've been doing
and
that.
We're supposed to sit it.
That's why.
Yeah, but you see.
Now it don't even. Now it's like what? Like I feel you, Shabaka. Now it's like, why are we discussing it? We already know we're gonna have to step over these motherfuckers to get what we need.
Well, you see,
and actually get it done.
Okay, well, you see, the way to get it done is, number one, is that we got to create and control our own industries. Okay, such as what we're doing and all Black media is doing, because they got your Stephen A. Smiths, your Don Lemons, other Sambo Rambo Negro Van Jones. Let's see, Bakari Sellers, Hakeem Jeffries. Now I'm going to show you something here, people. Okay, when you drop the name of the slave master, okay, you don't sit there and go to a traditional first name and keep the last name.
Hell no.
If any damn thing, you do the exact opposite.
Right.
You see, because as long as you are identifying by that Eurocentric motherfucker's name, you are subconsciously still projecting the image that you are his property. And this is what one of the issues that we're going to be covering on the special edition on Sunday night, Critical Race Theory on Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced, is that if you look at the example of the Montgomery bus boycott, okay, and you take that same example and you do it with social media, you do it with these fucking banks, you do it with these raggedy ass, black ass politicians who ain't about shit. What's her name again? Brother Che, Kimberly Daniels, I believe.
Yep.
The one who thanks God for being a slave, or otherwise she would be in Africa worshiping a tree.
Yeah.
Stupid brain dead motherfucker. A tree is to be worshipped because the tree gives you life. It gives you oxygen.
It has its own energy.
Stupid brain dead motherfucker. A tree is to be worshipped because the tree gives you life. It gives you oxygen.
Right.
You see? So therefore, the ancestors had already laid the groundwork before the transatlantic slave trade. So all you other motherfucking groups out there, well, we've been fucked over too. We don't give a good goddamn.
Right.
Because our people are in a state of emergency, and all you other motherfucking groups are capitalizing off of that state of emergency.
Yep.
Stephen A. Smith, up there kissing the NFL players or NBA players who got slammed with that vaccine. Kumbaya ass motherfucker. If any goddamn thing with that nigga need to say, well, I got this platform. Well, hey, let me just step out here to these black players, the ones who are not with this shit. And why not I just go independent? Yeah. And say, fuck his contract with, what's his contract with? ESPN, I believe.
Yeah, ESPN.
Yeah. And then the same thing with the ball players in all major sports, football, basketball, baseball.
Shout out to Kyrie.
Yeah. Shout out to Kyrie.
Shout out to Kyrie Irving.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, absolutely, for standing on his square. You know what I mean? And he went on and took his retirement. And I recognize that is very difficult and very, very competitive for these men and athletes and women to get where they are in the sports world. But since we produce so much wealth for these fucking leagues, it's time to shift the economical power.
Right.
Say, it's time for all them brothers to say, you know what, Mr. White Man, owner motherfucker, you, we ain't playing today, man. So what will happen is that all those contracts they got with those sponsors, right? They're going to get scrubbed.
Yep.
There's going to be an avalanche of lawsuits. So fucking what? Okay.
Right. Don't be scared no more.
Yeah, and then you gentlemen come together, and ladies in professional sports who are black, WNBA in particular.
Yeah.
Well, hey, guess what? We shutting you motherfuckers down, and you're gonna break some motherfucking bread.
Yep.
You're gonna give up a percentage of this goddamn team in the whole motherfucking league.
Yeah, but whatever it just doesn't fucking want to acknowledge is that we have the power.
Right.
That's the point.
We can take it.
That is the point that I'm making. Once again, looking at the example of the Montgomery bus boycott. And in my youth, I did meet Rosa Parks.
Yeah.
In Los Angeles. Woman didn't weigh 110 pounds wringing wet.
Huh.
But she caused a major shift.
Yeah.
A major shift. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know. And then the same thing needs to apply with Biden and his vax program, is because I did post up on my wall, and I think you saw it too, Brother Che, of a news clip out of Los Angeles where a lot of the city workers in the city of LA went before City Hall and said, guess what? We're not taking a goddamn vaccine, and we're not going to be extorted. See, this shit is extortion.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to look at it and treat it for what it is. You see? Yeah. And here in the state of California, or in California, like in Denver, why is it that we making up the least amount of the population in said states, but we make up the majority of the motherfuckers in prison, on social services, or homeless? Yep. Now, it's not rocket science, people.
Not okay. At all. This
okay, and then just right like here. This coon ass mayor that they elected in New York, and I did share the video that I got. Yeah, the Negro that got elected to mayor of New York, where the sister went up there and said that you's a sellout, you's a town, and due to that damn mandate, I lost my job, and straight told him, fuck you. So this Sambo motherfucker, he ain't saying nothing. He walking in there with his security. You know, see, that chain on the brain is a motherfucker.
Yeah, it is.
It's worse than being addicted to alcohol. It's worse than being addicted to drugs.
Yeah.
Clybourne, Sambo Ramble ass new mayor of New York. Tim Scott, Larry Elders, Mark Ridley Thomas. I mean, I can go on and on and on with these ass scratchers. Stephen A. Smith. You know what I'm saying?
The list is fucking
endless. And then the cold part about it is that the man by the name of Martin Luther King, shortly before his death, had realized his mistake.
Yep.
And he was man enough to recognize and realize his mistake. Okay? The day of trying to love everybody and hating ourselves must cease. it's over is because we are in a state of emergency. And those were a few of the components that contributed to said emergency. So we will be addressing this issue on Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced, along with FrontlineCampaign.org, along with Frontline Black News. Is that a change got to come?
Change got to come,
and it ain't gonna, and it ain't gonna change unless we make that change.
Mm-hmm.
See, the day of the ass scratcher is over. And let's think of all these proud men and women that doing in the struggle of our liberation that made the ultimate sacrifice. Like I said on my wall today.
Yeah, that was
today is Veterans Day. I see everybody sitting out there, oh, thank the veterans, thanks to the veterans. But has anybody in the Black community given a single thought to the Black Panthers that lost their lives for our liberation?
Nope.
Has anybody ever given a single thought to when Marcus Garvey was doing his thing, of those that lost their lives for our liberation? Has anybody given a single thought of those that happened in Black Wall Street 100 years ago that lost their lives? Emmett Till. You see?
Yeah.
And then, of course, the sacrifice that the heavyweight champion made in 1967 at the peak of his boxing career.
Mm-hmm.
You see? He sacrificed his prime years, people. His prime years. But then, you got the Yasa bosses out here, the coons, thinking this shit is okay. Individuals out there in Hollywood selling us down the toilet on a regular basis. NGR this, BITCH that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, they're making money. All of us have played dominoes. And what's the classic saying when you play dominoes? All money ain't good money.
Study long, study wrong.
Precisely. Yeah, all that. All that. So what we have to do, people, is that we have to turn our backs on these motherfuckers. Now, the reason why we have to do that is because our very, very survival is dependent on it with this nanotechnology that's going on. All this shit that they could trace you with. You know. But you're calling this shit progress. And then the principal in, what was it? It's a southern state, I think in Texas, where they suspended the principal, gave him a leave of absence indefinitely because they misinterpret him talking about critical race theory. And the man was just talking about some historical facts. You see, the point of what I'm getting at, Black family, is they want us to ignore historical facts of how they brutalized us.
Hold on, Shabaka. One second.
I got a seal on the line too.
Okay. Thank you, everybody watching at the Revolutionary Agenda in conjunction with Frontline Black News and Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced. We have Chan Kruma, Shabaka's and Corey on the phone. And go ahead and introduce yourself, Twinsy.
This is our Melville fellow, the angel of peace from the east, understand and understood, in the neighborhood near you, the one and only Blizzard, the Freeze, the Lady Police, aka the Devil's Uncle. With his knuckle up, shoot him on bang, 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 throw my thing on the block, streetwalker slave, the pop player, young player from the Mr. Bad Guy. It is I, so away from the fly, the Black Imperial Army has arrived. And then I got my brother on Theodore. Who's the angel of darkness, aka the Phantom.
Peace to the guys.
Killer, the main dealer, the one you got to cross through between the killers. But I'm here. I'm all active, all wise and civilized, doing my thing.
Peace to the guys.
Hey, glad to have y'all on. We're just getting into this critical race theory.
Go ahead.
Oh, yes. And critical race theory is what we're going to be doing on our special episode on Sunday night and it's up on, and I tagged you in it, Brother Che, and I think I got it set for 7 p.m. in the Mountain Time Zone. And the thing is, when you sit here and ignore blatant facts, right, then you are doomed to be stagnant on a collective basis. I mean, do you think the Jewish people forgot about what happened to them in Nazi Germany?
Nope.
And they'll be goddamned if they will forget it. Okay, now, yeah, and then, but the brutalization that we've been through, and all of this, and the reason why they want us to forget, because the white man has always been in fear of a black insurrection.
And he should be.
No.
No, really, you really.
As well
That's
as
when really shit happens is when we get upset and really mean it. Like, not this passive aggressive shit, but get upset, try to get angry, and then these motherfuckers
okay, but
submit, man. So tired of watching this shit. It's like I can't help it. It's like it's like that passive shit. Like, we're just gonna let them just go ahead and continue to rape, pillage, and abuse us, and kidnap us, and murder us, and do what, right? And we ain't gonna get mad. They're gonna give reparations to everybody but y'all. You hear me? They're gonna do this, and that, right?
Right. Now,
they're gonna do this,
and that.
And we just gonna sit here and tell us we can't talk critical race theories. Motherfucking, it's a lie in itself. It's bullshit.
No. With the critical race theory is, Brandy, from the research that I've done, is that they want. Is that white America feels that it says that all of them motherfuckers is evil.
They are.
And then they say, now this is okay, but this is their perspective. But then they say that it has blacks thinking of themselves as victims. Now, what the motherfucker is not telling you, okay?
We are the victim.
What the mother, okay? Yes, no question. You know, history teaches that. But they don't want us to recognize this brutalization, and they want us to have that hatred to still stay eternalized.
Right.
They don't want our
house
kids
in the field again.
They don't want our kids to recognize the brutalization.
Yeah, they don't.
Precisely.
They don't want us telling our children that the little white kids over there ain't no good.
What we've been taught. So
right.
They want to X that out of the books, out of the history books.
Oh, yes, sir. Indeed, Brother Che. And that's why it is essential for what we do and all black media to do is to keep it up in their motherfucking faces, just like a left jab. You see? You keep it up in his faces, and to quote you, Brother Che, then goddamn it, then go cut the motherfucking check. Tangibles 2021 to 2100 and beyond.
It's only take 15 minutes.
100 trillion fucking dollars. Cut the goddamn check.
15 minutes. You hear me? According to Neely Fuller Jr., this should only take 15 minutes. What the fuck are we still doing? Only, right?
To check right now.
What the fuck are we doing? We don't need no study.
Okay, and with and this day and technology with all this spy apparatus and shit,
it's probably even less.
What they need to do is that every black motherfucker in the United States, okay, we got the $100 trillion, and then just start depositing it into their motherfucking bank accounts and put it on a goddamn Cash App card.
Yeah. See that, or you just got to go break.
They could do that shit tomorrow.
Yeah.
But here's old Uncle Tim Scott, yeah, boss. You know, Mr. Charlie, yeah, it's not racist.
You can't ask them. You just gotta do it. Take it. Tell them.
And then there's Mayor Hancoon and sorry ass sack of shit who just became mayor of New York. Mark Ridley Thomas in Los Angeles. Oh, well, you know, Master Charlie says, you know, he can't do that and all that. Negroes.
Again,
fuck Master Charlie.
Or you gonna be out in the field.
Fuck Master Charlie.
You gonna stay and look at the suns and run out, look at the sky and run out and just keep going north? Or are you gonna stay in the motherfucking house and keep eating motherfucking biscuits and collard greens? What are you gonna fucking do?
Well, you got a point.
No shit.
Yeah, no. Glad you brought that up. Yeah, glad you brought that up. You see, because that's all what the Yasa bosses are about. All right, and this is why Samuel L. Jackson of that raggedy ass role you played in Django, where you was the house nigga, and you're an accomplished actor already. And I'm very, very disappointed in your sorry ass to do some shit like that. If any goddamn thing, you should have been playing the part with Jamie Foxx, helping Django put the work in.
You over there stitching it? Oh my God, man, I couldn't do it. I can't do this. That motherfucker right there. You know, Samuel L. Jackson's like, no, you don't be saying that.
Then,
that motherfucker's the same color as him, if not darker. He should be definitely wanting to get out the motherfucking house. Free yourself.
Yeah, but you see,
run.
But you see,
going. Get on.
But you see, but this is why they censor us on social media. This is why they try to crumb bomb on our narrative.
They don't want to feel.
This is why and this is why another podcast that I appeared on that Brother Chase familiar with, where I've been called every nigga black son of a bitch that there is. You see what I mean? And then these other groups.
It's true.
Yeah, and then these other groups is talking about, well, the Great Potato Famine. Well, look what happened with the bubonic plague. Man, fuck you motherfuckers. Fuck you and your goddamn potato famine. Fuck you and the goddamn bubonic plague that wiped out a half of Europe.
Potatoes, but you couldn't eat nothing else. You fucking imbecile! Fucking find something else to eat. Fuck.
They're from Europe. They can't grow shit like they grow it here.
Exactly, Brother Che, and that's why they went to Alkebulan.
That's that motherfucking. I'm submitting it. I gotta fail. No, motherfucker, figure a way out. Fucking, there's no potatoes. Okay, fuck it. What else they got? Mushrooms, frogs, fucking.
No. That's it. They didn't have nothing. You see, but Che is right though, Brandy, because see, they didn't have shit. They didn't have shit.
No animals.
So therefore, and then what had happened was these motherfuckers. Now let me make sure I got it right, and maybe some of our scholars here with us, because General Ramel is with us and the other brothers with us. And if I forget something or I admit something, don't hesitate to correct me on it. Okay, Europe had no fucking resources. This is why it went all around the world to Asia, Alkebulan, South America, and what have you, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and even what was the fuck boy's name? King George the Sixth.
Yeah.
Well, who was the king of England during the time when King Shaka was making a name for himself, and he told his lords or his subordinates, well, England is always raining in England. It's a quite common occurrence in England of cloudy days and rainy days. South Africa, parts of the South Pacific, they colonized Hong Kong, all that old shit, right? That represented their sunshine. So therefore, they go down there taking shit and renaming it. Having our people converting them, thinking that they savages, but this stinking nasty ass fuck boy who don't know how to wash his ass, carrying around disease, wondering why the fuck the goddamn bubonic plague, which comes from filth, because your nasty motherfuckers didn't know how to wash your ass. Yeah. We had to show you how to wash your ass.
Yeah.
And then there's a publication, and then there's a publication a brother wrote, and you might be up on this here, Brother Ramel. There was a book called Dirt. or no, seriously.
I know.
Because there was another conscious brother that enlightened me on it about 20 years ago. It was Dirt, and it was about how the Eurocentric mindset had worship being filthy. They thought it was a sin for them to wash their ass. I mean, up there in them ragged ass, nasty ass castles that you see, like King Richard and King Charles and all the motherfuckers, they had moats around the castle, right? What the moat was their damn toilet. You see what I mean?
Yeah, because they didn't get in the moat to wash up.
Okay. And I mean,
oh God.
And our queens on a continent of Africa developed the concept of feminine hygiene.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I mean?
We had to do it at some point.
Of bathing.
Mm-hmm.
You see? And whatnot. And the queens, they could lecture on that. You know what I'm saying? And on our continent, our men had to go through a rite of passage, transferring from boys to men.
Right.
It was a rite of passage.
The rituals, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Or customs and antiquity on the rites of passage of what they were called. You see?
Mm-hmm.
Now,
yep.
These fuck boys who came out of Greece, Europe, going to Kemet, renaming everything. But yet, though, on all the monuments that we had, they want to remove the nose, the lips. They don't want to recognize the great scholars at the University of Sankore. You see what I'm saying? They didn't want to recognize our great engineering feats of Kemet. They didn't want to recognize of how Mansa Musa had and the Comedians have given the world public administration. See? It was us that invented the toilet. It was us who came up with, you know what, shit stinks. Let's make up an irrigation system so we can go shit and wash our asses to keep our sanitation up.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. Cave Beast didn't know this.
Nothing under the sun that we didn't create, bro.
That's what
Indeed.
You know what I mean?
Indeed.
You know, even language, and they take pride in their English and all these Latin languages and all that shit. All the languages came from phonetic, a phonetic alphabet, and the phonetic alphabet the Phoenicians was the Canaanites. And
yes, sir.
Black people, and one of the most famous Canaanites was Hannibal the Great.
Right.
From North Africa.
Exactly.
So let's keep it real.
Oh, indeed. And then that's how we developed the concept of navigation. Now something hit me.
Right.
Traveling over this great ass desert. We had the stars.
Mm-hmm.
We navigated off the stars. Hell,
yeah.
I see.
They'd be lost. They would be lost. You know? They would be lost.
Sir?
Dirty and lost. Dirty, hungry, and lost.
We knew how far away the planets and the stars were to an exact, because our calculation was so supreme.
Oh, indeed.
You know what I'm saying?
You see?
You know, they could teach critical racial theory, bullshit, whatever the fuck they want. But
yes, sir.
The slave history did happen.
Yep.
And if they take it out the schools, guess where people are going to find it? On the street. The knowledge
exactly.
You don't have people the Nation of God's teaching. You have Nation of Islam teaching. You have people, you know, with knowledge of self teaching. So, you know, it's even better. To me, it's kind of like a blessing in disguise, because, you know, we're going to take the real knowledge, you know, we're going to take the real knowledge to the people where they need it. You know, and the people the people are in the ghetto.
Yes, sir.
And the curriculum and all that shit. You know, how many people haven't dropped out of school and high school and all that shit, man? People don't even give a fuck about those schools no more, man. When it comes to that curriculum and their so-called higher learning and all that shit, a lot of people struggle with even trying to, you know, learn how they think they're teaching us, you know, because we don't learn like they learn. We learn in original fashion. So, and a lot of their concepts are foreign because they're not on that supreme level that we're on, you know, because the universe exists in us, for us, and by us. And, you know, I just think that, you know, the streets is going to have the knowledge again. And that's what's going to happen.
Yes, sir.
People are going to search for the true knowledge in the schools, and they're going to seek it in the street, and the street going to give it to them.
Right. Oh, yes, sir.
The true knowledge of stuff.
And then the Yasa
The
bosses.
philosophy of the universe.
Yes, sir. And then the Yasa bosses, they'll say, you know, they're the kind of man, you know, the natural evolution of our development. You see what I mean? You know, your hand coons, Uncle Tom Bradley's.
You don't even learn like they learn. So, you know, who gives them the authority? And all the high learning shit, they kind of like, they give that teaching to bring about a certain kind of student, a certain kind of citizen, a certain kind of learner, somebody who submits to basically the Caucasian. You know what I mean? That submits to in the Eurocentric. That's what they're teaching people to be like. And you know what I mean?
It's called
Sir.
European Institute. It's called the European Institute of Psychology. That's where all thought that we currently deal with in this now cipher well from. So unless it's from a third party, independent learner, it's coming from the Caucasian. He ain't teaching you shit.
Indeed.
You got to be his servant, subservient.
Exactly.
It lasts for another 600 years.
Yes.
Exactly.
So let me interject.
And then also too, my brother, glad you brought up that concept. Yeah.
Hold on one second. Let me interject right there. You know, like I could relate. I didn't learn shit in school, right? Che had to help re-educate me, reprogram that. You feel me? Because I didn't learn the right histories and whatnot. None of that, actually. Everything was all fucking new when I started picking up books. No, hold on. No, wait. Listen. I didn't go to school. I didn't go to school. I grew up in the street. In the street since I was like 12 years old. So I got a real legitimate 5th grade education with a 9th grade paper education. Okay? So I didn't have all that. And the opportunities that were available, they weren't available for me. I had no passes. So what I didn't learn, I learned now as an adult. Fucking destroyed a lot of shit that I had going on in my mind. Knowing that certain things everything's racist. Really, if you think about it.
No, stop that.
Man. Okay, yeah, you gonna tell me how to. All right. Go ahead, guy. Go ahead.
Let me add it too. Nothing is new under the sun.
No, that's the whole point. That's the whole point.
So is it? But the question is it current? If it's current,
no.
Yes, and you got to deal with what's current.
What's current?
So that's the reality.
This has been going on for generations, God. What's current?
Hey,
this has been going on forever.
Nothing is new under the sun.
No, exactly.
Measured in degrees. So you got 1 degree of knowledge, you got 2 degrees of knowledge, you got 3 degrees of knowledge. So the more you add on to the siphon, the more you understand. The more it brings you back to the foundation, which is you. So nothing is new under the sun. So because cracker, we can't look at the white man and say nothing he's saying. The only thing we can say that the cracker lying about right now is that jab. He ain't lying about shit else. The devil ain't gonna lie to you. It's his shit. He wants you to follow that shit. He wants you to truth.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Hey, my brother.
I just didn't finish my statement, but we say the same.
Hey, big homie, as we used to say in South Central, that's getting your head bumped.
I just didn't finish what I was saying, but we're on the same page. We're on the same line of thinking. Carry on.
right.
Oh yeah, as I was saying, as the brother was saying.
Go ahead, Steve.
Ain't no honorary degrees out here.
Nope.
Ain't no honorary degrees out here, but who got the education system? Who got the psychology system?
Right.
They got it all. All right, you can know the history all you want.
Theoretically, they got it all.
Look, the fact,
theoretically,
look,
they got the books.
Listen to this. You can know the history all you want, but the fact still remains the same.
Exactly.
You know
We saying the same shit. We saying the same shit.
Look.
Somebody's bringing some feedback.
I love it. You know what I'm saying? You know why I love it? Because every day I got choice. I got a choice and an opportunity to make the best of what I'm dealing with. So the main goal and objective here is to acknowledge. That's the whole base going around. Being aware. So self-confidence. Self-identity. So you acknowledge you are in the midst of the chaos. You see what I'm saying?
But I was trying to...
The heaven ain't gonna come out the skies and come onto the physical earth that we dwell on. The heaven's gonna come into mind.
Yeah, like I was trying to say.
This experience called life that you make of it. I know it. Look, I done studied it. They don't give a fuck about it. And at the same time, they give a fuck about it.
Right. As I was trying to say, brother. Hold on a second. As I was trying to say before, like let me get this out, okay? Y'all can talk all you want. Let me get this out though. I know who I am. I've always known. I always know I'm smarter than a lot of motherfuckers. I may have books, but I know. You see what I'm saying? I just didn't know what was written down or what I didn't. You know what I mean? Certain things I didn't know because they never were thought to explain it to me. But I know what we're talking about. I understand. My vibration is high like that. I understand what you're saying. We speaking on the same language. We talking the same way.
Indeed.
So I understand what you're saying.
Local history.
No.
We see, together.
I give up.
Together we are God. Together we're God.
Yeah.
I identify myself as being a supreme source, but together, all in one.
Yeah. And that's the knowledge they don't want us to have of self.
Somebody some feedback. Somebody got their speaker by the phone again.
Nope. That's not what's happening.
Is it me?
The weather. It's the weather right here. The weather's breaking up the signals. It's colder down.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's cold as hell here where I'm at too, and I'm right next door to you all.
Windy as hell, and we're all on different types of internet.
Hey, let me ask you a question. If there wasn't this thing called life that we're experiencing right now, what would there be?
I'd be in the stars. I'm from there. I'm all above being, bro.
I want you to answer it. If there wasn't this thing called life, then what would there be going on?
Ain't nothing else but life.
Right.
That's it. The highs, the lows, the left, the right.
Right.
So it is. We gotta struggle for hard. We gotta keep ourselves alive. We gotta maintain our lives. We gotta stop focusing on the tests that the devil's trying to teach us, teach our black woman, teach our children. We need to bring life to the world. You know what I mean? We need to bring life to our people. We need to bring them teachings that'll free them mentally. Right now, the revolution is at the mental level, and we need to attack mentally by freeing people and having the forms that we have right now, such as this platform of the revolutionary agenda.
Indeed.
And again, revolution will not be but it's a personal thing, baby. It ain't what we're looking on the videos and the movies as it was in the past. We're dealing with it now. It's not televised. This is a personal battle.
Exactly.
It's a battle for self. This ain't got a battle to do with nobody else. We know who the devil is. The devil know who God is. What, you want to spend the next your next few years of existence or reality on this plane explaining to people who and what the devil is? We all know. We just don't know how to deal with this motherfucker. But deal with the one in you. Deal with the one in you, then you move to the next level.
Right.
Yeah, we're involved. We ain't talking about just double in and working on your philosophy.
I know.
No, I know, but I'm just the focus. That we're talking about the actual, person that has us basically enslaved again. You know what I mean? And
that's cool. But the degree says, God, what does the degree say? Then what happens? We already studied that. We already studied the problem. So let's study the solution. Then what happens?
Right.
Well, what's happening is what you make it happen. And what we make it happen is something called revolution. What's happening is revolution. Because that change, growth, life itself is revolution. You know what I mean? So in order to produce results, you got to, initiate revolution. And that's being able to shift the polarity where we're no longer being oppressed, but we're able to, have freedom, justice, and equality. And we're able to, sustain for ourselves, live for ourselves, and fuck mediocre shit. We try to live lavish, bro. Everybody on this line right now, and we trying to teach people and help people, so they can live lavish too, man, because we need to stop being consumers and start being entrepreneurs. Go ahead, Shabaka, take us off.
Yes, sir, absolutely. That's exactly what we need to be. And then if you look at these other groups of people,
you're right in that,
and then when you look at these other groups,
they make no drinking water.
Yeah, I know that, but we focus on what we can do, not what we can't do.
All right. When I hear the issues and the problems, I'm thinking about John Nathia. We can identify everything that's happening right before us. Everybody tripping out, everybody's screaming. But that's when it starts with you.
Yeah, it always starts with you. And what you're going to be the change that you want to see. That's what this platform is for self-edification. Universal edification. And that's what we use it for.
So when I think of my babies, I think about pulling in resources from the individuals that I'm in contact with. That's what the media is like.
That's
the future. If I want to change the future, I got to connect all the dots.
Hell yeah! Reach your babies. What they call homeschool your babies. Teach your babies what you can.
All that shit.
What you can. You know what I mean?
All that damn song. Hey, I teach math. Hey, I teach science. Hey, I teach.
Yeah, and for those who don't know, CLR used to work at a high school and used to work at an elementary.
Mm-hmm.
So she has experience in teaching.
I worked for a middle school for a few years, 5 to 10 years, well, about 8 years. So anyway, you know what I do every year working in the Department of Education, they make the individuals, the teachers who haven't gone through the process of them 4 years of endurance and that financial debt. Then you get that piece of paper that says, okay, you certified in this area. Then they make you take a test. And then you get a license. You get a license. The reason you get a license is because the information that they give you, they want you to teach that to the masses.
Right.
No. You have a decision.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a decision. Do I want to pursue it or do I don't? You know what I'm saying? And that's where the self-savior comes in.
Yes, sir.
I ain't gonna battle that shit.
First law of nature, self-preservation. We talking about a global. We just ain't talking about brother. We're talking about we're dealing with national issues, brother. We're dealing with national issues.
You can't deal with no national issues until you deal with the local issues. How you gonna deal with national? You ain't dealt with the local.
Right.
If you ain't got the local cipher together, how the fuck you gonna go abroad? You gonna go teach this bullshit to somebody else? You ain't practice it. You ain't taking from knowledge to born right here in your immediate.
Right.
Over here and teach these motherfuckers that's been eating rice and mud pies for the last for their entire existence, for 4 generations. You finna teach them that this is a better way. They don't want to hear that shit. Some people want an AK-47 and shoot the devil in the
Yeah.
head.
That probably will happen, brother.
How do we control the power? You know, in our supreme mathematics, power has a duality, and that duality is refinement.
Right.
Well, positive or negative.
No. Positive or negative. But that duality can come out, hey, you can acknowledge it, live it out, or you can do something about it. You have a choice.
Indeed, that's what we're trying to do. And, you know, I hate to say this, but I refuse to look at the devil and the devil system in a positive way. I look at it in a negative way.
You can look at it in a positive way, but guess what? How many years you got on this dome? You got 1,000 years? You got 2,000 years? Do you got 3,000? For you to sit around and stay caught up in the bullshit and stay caught up in the weakest part?
So, can I carry on with my show though? Is that cool?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, cool. Because I got some stuff I want to play. Y'all could argue about this after that, but can I carry on with my show?
Yeah.
That'd be tight.
Sorry about it.
All right, cool. So just put that on pause, boys. Y'all get back into it, but let's just play a little something for the people that are watching. Okay, hold on a second. All right, sorry about that, gentlemen. Che Shabaka, I do actually have something to play. I've been waiting to play it, so here we go.
Say what now?
I got something to play. I want to play something.
Oh, okay.
That kind of break up the monotony. You know what I mean? So let me see. Let's go right here. Fair use YouTube. Source is Professor Professor Black Truth, and this is latest. So it'll put us on a different topic for a second. So that one was just like, well, all right. Go ahead, share. This is good. This is really good. It's only like 15 minutes, but we're gonna score past most of that. Let me see.
Thank you, Queen Brandy.
I heard you. Thank you. You're welcome. So thank you. Let me go right here can y'all see this? Can you see this? All right. Let's move on. Okay. Yeah.
That for a while now. All of this without Biden's infrastructure bill, by the way.
We're gonna go back into politics real quick.
Going to get a piece of the pie, but when you actually read the story, it's always, no matter how much money they get, they always demand more, and it's never a problem. No one ever sits around trying to tally up how much they've gotten or claim that it's too much. That certainly wasn't the case for those Asian businesses saying that they need money because of the pandemic. On the other hand, if a young black man is signed to the NBA, there's not a single taxpayer dollar that comes out of that. But you can bet the white media and certain white interests are going to be casting aspersions on him, saying it's too much money for someone that young. A criticism that they never level at white kids who get a lot of money, even though a disproportionate number of them wind up committing suicide.
You still hear the echo? Because it's not on my end.
And only hear it when you play the video.
Let me check. I don't have nothing else open except for this. I'll try to turn it down, but I gotta have the speaker right here so they can be heard. And that's it. It should just be the show. Maybe it'll work itself out. We'll figure it out. I'll carry on.
It's not the boys from the hood they need to be worried about. It's the kids from the suburbs. They're the ones who wind up destroying themselves. But white supremacy can't perpetuate itself if it teaches those classified as white to rein themselves in. It's about excess. It has to be. Supremacy knows no bounds. It's ultimately pervasive. It doesn't respect anyone else's rules. It is violating by its very nature because it must be. There's no sanctuary from it and no way to check or restrain it. And so excess is of a necessity, a must of the dominant society's culture. And repressing and trapping and containing the oppressed, that's also an absolute necessity of white power. After all, power cannot be power if everyone else can do the same thing. From what we hear, apparently there's going to be some sort of spending bill that the Democrats are going to attempt to put together. And of course, what they're going to be claiming is that, well, black people are included in it because it's going to be fixing roads, and, well, black people use roads like everyone else. That's going to help black people. But what goes unsaid, of course, is the roads that are going to be fixed are not going to be in the places where black people live. So as a black person, the only way you're going to get any of the benefit of that infrastructure money is if you get outside of the places where you live. Now, the flunkies and fools on MSNBC and CNN and your old, dead, decrepit black media, they're not going to tell you this, but Biden's approval rating now sits at 36%. Bad as that is, Kamala Harris's approval rating is even lower. Hers now sits at a pathetic 28%. Only the U.S. Congress is lower at 12%. You know, up until now, Dick Cheney had been the most unpopular vice president in U.S. history. His lowest approval rating, however, was 30%, and he didn't get to that crushing low until the final year of the catastrophic Bush regime. It took old tricky Dick Cheney 7 years to finally whittle his support down to 30%. Kamala Harris managed to beat that in only her first 11 months in office. She hasn't even been in office a complete calendar year. So in only 11 months, she managed to outdo what took Dick Cheney 7 years to do. That's got to be a record somewhere. Now, as Kamala sees it, and her boosters, she's caught on the horns of a dilemma. All of that favorable white media coverage has not changed the fact that she's still about as popular as Jock Itch. She tries to hide from the public, and she becomes invisible because you can't run for president in 2024 if nobody has seen you for 4 years. Right. So she's tried to keep her public appearances to a minimum. If she has to be seen, well, she needs to make sure she's not seen very much, but even that's failed. It seems that every interview or every meeting that she has, she inevitably puts her foot in her mouth. Well, I suppose that after so many years of being down low Willie Brown's plaything, putting body parts in her mouth is pretty much the only marketable skill that she's got. What Joe Biden and, more importantly, Kamala Harris are figuring out the hard way is that you're not going to ski-wee your way past the black vote. Biden made her his running mate, and that was the only way she was ever going to get on the presidential ticket. But we all know that if anyone other than Donald Trump had been president, Biden and Harris would have crashed and burned worse than Mondale and Ferraro. Look it up. Artificially elevating Kamala Harris to the White House didn't fix her real problem, that this woman couldn't get elected dog catcher without the California political machine there to hand her political office.
Facts.
Black grassroots has already flexed its muscles. We cut off Mike Bloomberg's cojones and sent him limping back to New York, and it didn't take us months to do it, or hundreds of millions of dollars in campaign ads. We weren't like the Lincoln Project being backed up by big white money. The black vote broke Michael Bloomberg in a single day. And all of his billions of dollars and his white media connections and his black flunkies he had on the payroll were useless to him. Think about that.
Right.
We crushed a billionaire. He was a billionaire with no power because
would I waste my time going voting for some sorry motherfuckers?
Billions of dollars to do it.
Well, that's the whole point of
the only person I'm voting for is Jesse Paris, Mayor of Denver.
That's it.
We'll carry on.
Mike Bloomberg was taught a hard lesson about the nature of true power last year. His billions of dollars could get him media buys, and they could get him TV spots, and they could get him a few bootlicking Uncle Toms to show up at his campaign rallies. But billions of dollars cannot buy you legitimacy, especially not when the people are hit with a scam and they're against you. That's what Bloomberg learned. He slithered back to whatever Fifth Avenue hole he lives in, and he hasn't been seen or heard from since. Talking around our interest is political suicide. The white media can tell lies on your behalf that they have the black votes and black support in your pocket, but if the grassroots knows differently, that means nothing. Trump's anti-black racism is what brought out the black vote in 2020. Damn sure wasn't having Kamala Harris on the ticket. Her free-falling approval numbers bear that out. So much for her secret weapon, i.e. her sorority ties. Now, can Kamala and Biden turn this around? Sure, but that's going to require them to cut the check, and it won't be a small one, and it ain't going to be for everyone either. The black vote is for sale to the highest bidder, and so far, these two chuckleheads haven't been putting in any bids. And so we're making it clear they won't get our support.
Listen.
And this is no small thing. When your approval rating falls this low, it becomes a slog to try to get those numbers back where they need to be. It will take more than 1 quarter of good job growth or even a year of good job numbers for Kamala to get back over 50%. After all, she's not the face of the administration. Whatever goes right, none of that's going to accrue to her. She's not seen as charismatic or particularly bright. And with Biden's senility kicking into high gear, nobody looks at Kamala as being some sort of stabilizing influence. The Biden administration looks exactly like what it is. A doddering old fool and his free-range thought, hoping to bluff their way past the voters one more time. Personally, I don't see how they can undo the damage they've done to themselves. Biden made a lot of promises last year, and then as soon as he took the oath of office, he promptly turned around and broke them all. And worse than that, he made a show out of his utter contempt for the very Negroes who were stupid enough to vote for him. Biden showed his entire whole wrinkled up behind. And the black folks who were dumb enough to vote for him, many of them are increasingly coming not to trust him. They're finally coming around. Michael Eric Dyson was on Bill Maher's side show,
goddamn ass scratches and yassa balls.
Democrats' strategy of trying to make every Republican out to be a Trump acolyte simply isn't working. And that was the only plan the Democrats had, because the entire goal is we're not going to actually hand black people any tangibles. We're not promising them any tangibles. We're not going to do a damn thing for them. Yeah, Biden said he would. Well, we lied. That's what's happened. Scaring the souls to the polls, that's failed. And they haven't even completed their first year in office. They got a long way to go before the humiliation of 2024 comes around. So no, they will not bluff their way past us again with any fear-mongering tactics. They're going to have to put something on the table for us. They got 3 years to cut that check.
Listen.
Because if they think that being scared of being right-wing zealots is going to scare black folks, they got another thing coming.
Listen, he said.
Again, with any fear-mongering tactics, they're going to have to put something on the table for us.
He said
they got 3 years to cut that check.
3 years.
Because if they think that being scared of being right-wing zealots is going to scare black folks, they got another thing coming.
Like, how you going to tell me to stop my own show? How you tell me how to stop my show?
Right-wing oppression feels no different and no better than...
You know what I mean? That's my show. You know what I mean? So there's actually people out there listening.
My apologies. We can get off that.
But I'm trying to let
you can finish.
Let me just say this. There's actually people that we have a routine. You know what I mean? We talk about the same things about politics and whatnot. Now we understand everybody is gonna feel a certain way. I agree. We've been talking about this shit every year, right? Every year it's the same shit. I agree with you. It just happens to be, if you don't feel it in the air, change should be coming. Not because they have to do it. We're making it do it. We got to make it do it. Or no? Are you not capable of change? No. I mean, where am I going to talk? Where am I going to talk? Like, seriously.
You've gotten your thought across. Right now,
is that the end of my thought, though? Go ahead. It's your show. Go ahead. You do it. Carry on.
No, it's
carry on.
Your show, Stussy.
No, carry on. I don't want to hear nothing, Ramel. Carry on, God. Carry on, God.
We need a start here.
Carry on, God. I'm not going to say it again. God. Carry on with your thought, please.
There you go, see.
I don't need nobody introduced no chat to me. I do all the arts and crafts around here.
All right, then. Handle your business.
But look, I'm going to say it like this. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to make it simple. I'm going to make it clear.
We don't have time for all that. I'm sorry about that. Nobody runs my shit like that. Let me hang up. I'm sorry. Sorry, family. Who are watching at home. That was probably the most inappropriate nonsense. Not that we have disagreements, but that can't happen, family.
Right.
That's some sort of decorum. So I apologize for my behavior, but we actually have a routine of tangibles.
Right.
Right. And something we do every single week, be it Chewbacca's or Frontline Black News. Revolutionary agenda is no different. So if we feel inspired by the new black media and to change the narrative for y'all, FBA, ADOS, black people in general. That's what we're going to do. Now, I'm not saying that the brother is wrong. Not saying any of that. But you won't come here and be disrespectful to this point where I got to come out of character like that, because that's not something for y'all to see. That's what I get to the street. So I apologize, family. Shabaka, Che, let's carry on. I had to hang up on them for a minute so that we can carry on and change the energy around. Please. So
Yeah.
All right. Okay. What Jason Black was saying was absolutely correct.
It's Professor Black.
Black Truth. Yeah. Because I've listened to the brother before, and he pretty much put it down there. Cut the motherfucking check. Voting for them sacks of shit was a bunch of bullshit, and just like what the man said, that everybody, was down on Donald Duck, so you're gonna go out there and vote for any motherfucker. Hell, if Mickey Mouse was running for damn selection, president, selected then, or whatever what the fuck they call themselves, you know what I'm saying? He would have got it. You see? But what makes this shit so asinine is that here you got all these black voters that went out there and bum rushed and voted for this asshole who pushed that federal crime bill during the Clinton regime that led so many of us to being incarcerated. Then you had a lot of folks in the black community that say, well, crime is so bad in the black community. Crime is so bad. Rather it was Denver, Los Angeles, Chicago, Philadelphia, New Orleans, Cleveland, Ohio, and what have you, that you sat up there and you fell for any goddamn thing. And then on my research, the only black DNA in Kamala Harris is from Willie Brown.
Right. Right. That's the consensus from the gentleman. That's the consensus. You know what I mean?
Hey, Joe and the hoe got to go. I said it.
Right. Right. That's just facts.
I mean, these motherfuckers have been selling us down the goddamn toilet for the last, when do we get the right to vote? What's that, Brother Jay? The 14th Amendment, 15th Amendment, one of them bullshit ass amendments. What's that, 1866, 1870, something like that? And still, for us on a collective basis, when it comes to our own infrastructures, our own educational institutions, our own macroeconomic institutions, and our own microeconomic institutions, not a goddamn thing has changed. Nothing. But here's your Uncle Tim Scott Coons and crazy ass broad Kimberly Daniel. Oh yeah, boss, I'm so happy that you brought it over here, boss. Yeah, Mr. Charlie, you the boss. And then you got Uncle Tim Scott saying that America is not a racist country. The stupid motherfucker. He might as well go smoking dope and drop pills with Ben Carson. When Ben Carson came up there with that asinine ass shit. Well, the slaves came here. They were in search of the American dream. In search of the American dream. And then two sellout ass coons had to tell them, man, we ain't even believing this shit. See, that's what's so fucking pathetic. And then you got this Sambo Ramble ass Negro, I forgot the motherfucker's name, who became the mayor of New York. They put his ass on blast a few days ago, telling that son of a bitch that he was a coon, a sellout, a house nigga, and all that. And he's just sitting up there with Mighty Whitey, not saying nothing, not up there addressing his own people, which could have been the perfect fucking opportunity for him to turn to the crowd and says, you know what? You're right. Yeah. Fuck this bullshit. Yeah. City of New York is going to start cutting a check. Black folks built the goddamn city of New York. Same thing with Chicago, when you had the race riot there in 1919. Same thing with Hollywood and Los Angeles, as Brother Isaiah so well pointed out. Queen Khalifa, who they named California after. All that real estate up there with us, Hollywood, Pacific Palisades, Beverly Hills, Benedict Canyon, Coldwater Canyon, Woodland Hills, Encino, Studio City, all that was owned by a sister
Biddy Mason
in the late 1890s. And then they came out there and turned it into Tinseltown and Fantasyland. Then, with it being Veterans Day, I must ask, has anybody considered paying homage and respect to all of those who lost their lives in the struggle for our liberation? And I'm mainly talking about that crew that started in Oakland.
No.
See?
Evidently not, you know what I mean?
Yeah, see? Yeah, and I put it up there on my wall today. With it being Veterans Day, you know, everybody, you know, thanking the soldiers for their service and all that old shit. Has anybody thought about them soldiers that came out of Oakland, California? That a lot of them paid the ultimate price. A lot of them who are political prisoners.
Nope.
Precisely my point, Brother Jay. But however, as Dr. Marimba Ani had stated in her writings, the Ma'afa, a disaster so bad, it is beyond description. And when I look at Ridley Thomas, Mayor Hancoon, other Uncle Tom who just became mayor of New York, Uncle Tom Mahadnog, the motherfucker, Clyburn that you was telling me about, Brother Che.
Yeah.
That just goes to show you just how serious this situation is. This is why we are in a state of emergency. And the sad part about it is, Black family, 75% of us don't even recognize that a goddamn emergency exists. Now, fuck F.W. de Klerk. Glad the son of a bitch is dead. Fuck him. Because he's the one who stated that when our people over there in Azania were getting their liberation, or trying to, who came up with the term that Azania was in a state of emergency. And you stinking ass Boers, you Dutch, you English down there, y'all want your own goddamn country. Just simply jump your ass off in that motherfucking water and swim your stinking asses back to your fucking caves in Europe.
Right.
That's your goddamn country. You nasty motherfuckers. And I'm Shabaka Sankori, and I approved of the goddamn message.
Right.
Fuck F.W. de Klerk. Fuck P.W. Boda. Fuck Jan Christian Smuts, who implemented that institution of apartheid there. Fuck Gandhi. Yeah. Yep. The one that Dr. King patronized himself. Yeah, I said it. Fuck Gandhi. Because when he started his thing in South Africa, he was only doing it for the people from India. He referred to us as Kafirs.
Yep.
In the United States, they call them niggas. And we all one of the same, Black family. And as Malcolm said before his demise, when he addressed the Organization of African Unity, your problem is our problem, and our problem is your problem. Where do you think all the goddamn silicon is coming from? Which is the crux of this microtechnology. They slamming you with this shit, putting microchips in you. Oh, I'm going to go get the vaccine, Master Charlie. Yeah. And motherfuckers are still dropping dead. You go get this shit, you drop dead. Oh, it's COVID related. Once again, motherfucker pulling out his damn Johnson, pissing on you, telling you that it's rain. Once again, motherfucker sitting on top of your head, squatting, taking a goddamn dump on you, and telling you it's snow.
Right.
But here's the Yasa bosses. Oh, Master Charlie's so good. You goddamn Amos and Andy fucking fool. Wake up and smell a goddamn coffee. We, as a people, throughout the whole Pan-African diaspora, are in a goddamn state of emergency.
Right.
I mean, And look at them brave soldiers of the 1960s that paid the ultimate price. Political prisoners, locked up 57 years, 40 years in solitary confinement.
Jesse, do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, I was just letting Sabaka finish his thought.
Oh, yes, sir. I'm done. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm done.
Yeah, my thoughts are to hell with Jim Crow Biden, to hell with Kamala Harris, and everybody that voted for him. I'm glad that his approval ratings are plummeting, and I hope they continue to plummet. We told y'all that they was no good, they wasn't going to do shit for us, so now you see.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And that's why the hashtag resurrection of the mental dead was created. That's why the hashtag tangibles 2020 was created. That's why the hashtag biotechnical barbarians was created. Mm-hmm. Motherfuckers up here with all this goddamn money want to go play Captain Kirk.
Mm-hmm.
Motherfuckers out here starving on the goddamn planet. Oh, I'm gonna go play Captain Kirk.
Yeah.
Yeah,
then
but
Bezos, yes, sir.
What I wanted to get into before we close out the show was the Kyle Rittenhouse trial.
Yeah.
And the
yes, sir. Trial. Indeed. Now, my thoughts there on that Rittenhouse case. Here's this motherfucker got a gun. He crossed state lines. And he says that he was going up there to stop looters. And the judge in the case, from what I understand, had made a statement that the people who were shot were not to be called victims, but they were to be called robbers and looters. Now, my question is, who is this motherfucker to take it upon himself at 17 years old with an AR-15, okay? Well, I'm crossing state lines to maintain, quote unquote, law and order. Rittenhouse, who the fuck is you?
Right.
And then on top of that, from what I've been seeing of the trial, that they gearing up to dismiss the charge against him. And the Ahmaud Arbery case, that was special circumstance murder. That dude and his son and the motherfucker that videotaped that shit, every last one, all three of them motherfuckers need to go to the goddamn gas chamber, the gallows, firing squad, do a triple header with them motherfuckers. They knew what the fuck they was doing.
Right.
Saying the young man went and looked at a real estate development project we thought he was stealing. Yeah. Motherfucker calling himself self-appointed George Zimmerman Community Watch. You Paul Blart, mall cops, stupid motherfuckers. Fuck y'all.
Right. So back to the Kyle Rittenhouse. What do you
yes, sir.
Crocodile tears he was given on the stand yesterday?
Well, based on Brother Che, the information that I came across, he stated that there were those who threatened to kill him. There were those who tried to take his weapon away from him. Then he's saying he's going up there to quote unquote maintain law and order. And I personally believe if any fucking thing, he should have been joining a goddamn protest to protest the killing of the brother in Kenosha. What was the brother's name?
They didn't kill him. They shot him 8 times in his back.
Yes.
Jacob Blake.
Yes, sir. Yeah, Mr. Blake. Say so. If any damn thing, Rittenhouse should have took his self-righteous ass up there and joined the protest against that shit.
Right.
But I'm going out.
He planned to kill.
Hell yeah, he knew what he was doing. Yes, sir.
He was going nigga hunting, and that's what his intention was, to kill black people that were at the protests, and he just so happened to kill white people instead.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So my whole thing about this is, if he walks, this is setting a precedent for anybody that plans to be another Zimmerman. This is Zimmerman Part 2. And I don't know how that bastard is still walking around. You know, he had the audacity to try to have an event in Boise, Idaho, and the hotel owner said, hell no, when they found out that he was hosting it. But yeah, we gotta pay close attention to this black family because this is going to set a precedent for years to come on these white vigilantes that feel that they can take
Absolutely.
the white supremacist law into their own hands.
Exactly. Exactly. You know, another Dylan Roof.
Yeah.
Another Dylan Roof. You know what I mean? So therefore, as Dr. Newton had stated in his memoirs, we have a right to exist, we have a right to live, and we have a right to survive. The Queen Mother has echoed that. You all know who I'm talking about, Tupac's auntie.
Yeah,
his mom who got caught up in a Panther 21 trial.
Yep,
cases fabricated. Yeah, cases fabricated. You know what I mean? She became a lawyer. All of them got acquitted. So therefore, black family, that we got to see, it is definitely a conspiracy against us. And this is why all you other groups have got to go hold your own fucking nuts. We can't do it no more. We is tired. But goddamn it, we're gonna survive.
Right.
Because we have a right to exist. And we have a right to live. We are the original man. And all you fuckboy motherfuckers out of Greece and Rome and all that shit, go to Kemet and start plagiarizing shit. Professor George G.M. James taught you that.
Mm-hmm.
Then you motherfuckers want to go down there to the University of St. Corey in Timbuktu, steal our knowledge, wondering how we are embalming our dead 3,000 years ago.
Right.
Wondering how we did our engineering and our architecture.
Still to this day.
Yes, sir. See? And just like RAHMEL said, we gave the world the concept of physics and navigation, of geometry, trigonometry, mathematics. You see what I mean? Medical science. But how does white America wants to view us as men? Wearing a goddamn dress. Men don't wear dresses or feminine attire.
Right.
Men don't sit up there and say, well, I'm going to consider having my 13-year-old son to get a sex change. Let young man go get him some pussy. He might find out he like it. No disrespect, Sister Che. I'm just telling it like it is.
I would have said the same thing.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then these abnormal, deficient, regressive gene motherfuckers, mighty whitey, everything they do is right. Everything we do is questionable. Just like what you did to Colin Kaepernick.
Yep.
Oh, he kneeled down. We got to kick him out the NFL. Man's been out the league 6 years. His prime years of his athletic career are gone. See? Mm-hmm. Gone. Just like the heavyweight champion that they did in 1967.
Yep, Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, see. And it's Veterans Day. And let's think about these black soldiers who wore those leather pieces and the TAMs, who went out there and got killed and imprisoned for our liberation. Let's think about the black soldiers who served in the U.S. military that came back from World War I, where a lot of them were executed. Yes, sir. And let's think about the black soldiers who were burned alive when they came back into the southern United States after World War II. Let's think about Mr. Isaac Woodard, who was coming home from World War II, being discharged to go be with his wife, and he gets blinded by a psychotic sheriff who takes the butt of his nightstick and busts out both his eyeballs.
Right.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah, we got to
So
think
we
about
got
all.
to remember that, Black family.
Got to remember it, never forget it, and teach it to our kids. Because ain't nobody else gonna do it but us.
Closing statements.
Go ahead, Shabaki.
Yes, sir. Yes, and then on the Sunday night, about 3-4 days from now, we're doing a special edition with our crew, Frontline Black News, frontlinecampaign.org. We're doing critical race theory. So all you haters, be sure to call in. All you ass scratchers, call in. All you white supremacists who think that critical race theory is wrong, you motherfuckers are welcome to call in too. And the number is, once again, 516-418-5996. And we're still awaiting to hear from you Biden supporters. And we ain't heard from you. You can call in too. And once again, the number is 516-418-5996. And check out our archived episodes on Blog Talk Radio. You're welcome to call in. Samble Ramble motherfuckers is welcome to call in. Brain dead motherfuckers is welcome to call in. And then, of course, those with knowledge of self are encouraged to call in. Because we're going to discuss this shit, trying to erase this brutalization from our people's history. Sitting up here to be thankful of the transatlantic slave trade, to be brought to this oppressive motherfucker, and it wasn't for them, we'd be over there worshiping trees. And a tree is to be worshipped.
Right.
After all, a tree kicks off oxygen. It sustains life. And then you motherfuckers in the Congressional Black Caucus, you motherfuckers is welcome to call in too.
Yeah.
And if you don't, we understand. We understand you're humiliated. We understand that you have the self-hatred. We understand the brutalization that your families went through. As Dr. Marimba Ani has said, Ma'afa, a horror so bad that it is beyond description. All right, Brother Che, back to you. Back to you, Lady Che.
Yeah, so thank you for having me on the Revolutionary Agenda tonight. We will be having a brand new episode of Frontline Black News on Saturday at 10 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, so make sure you tune in to that. Also, you make sure you check out Shabaka's show on Sunday at
the special edition. Yes, sir.
Special edition at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Central, and 9 p.m. Eastern. And we're gonna get into this critical race theory once again. We all that we got, Black family. Ain't nobody gonna come save us but us. Any of these politicians that are seeking your vote, demand something specifically for your vote. Stop just giving your vote away just because, out of duress or out of fear mongering or because the white media told you so. Vote because you have an agenda and you are demanding something tangible for your votes. If you're gonna vote at all. The two-party system must go. So we'll watch both the Democrats as they are right now imploding on themselves and the Republicans collapse before our very eyes. And in the future, we will have an independent candidate that will win office and take us to the promised land, if you will. So thank you for having me on, Lady Che. I'm sorry you had to deal with that disrespect earlier. We're gonna get to the bottom of that. And
I'm thank you fellas for joining me. I'm gonna end this out with a song, and usually just roll back the couple of tracks. You know my usual message. So I'll play this song right here. I hope y'all enjoy it. Here we go. Thank you for watching the Revolutionary Agenda, and have a good night. Oh, and I got started over.
Showed you my shame. Your name.
Oops, go ahead. My bad. Sorry, Black Belly. You like it.
Followed your name into the wild. Showed you my shame. Ran a mile. I sing your lullabies, melodies like a symphony. We walk the same inside a fire. I just need a little mercy, mercy on me. I could use a little mercy, mercy on me. I drank your holy water, liberty, your make-believes. I could use a little mercy, mercy on me. I play the game, I reconcile. Well. I wear the blade like a suit and tie. I sing your lullabies, your melodies like a symphony. We fall the same when we walk the wide. I just need a little mercy, mercy on me. I just need a little mercy, mercy on me. I drank your holy water, liberty, your make-believes. I could use a little mercy, mercy on me. Oh, no. Yeah. I'm a little mercy on me. Oh, yeah. I keep running, you keep tearing me down. I keep going and you keep tearing me down. I just need a little mercy, mercy on me. I just need a little mercy, mercy on me. I drank your holy water, liberty, your make-believes. I could use a little mercy, mercy on me.
All right, Black family, Black power, Black love, Black everything great. Have a good night. Thanks for watching the Revolutionary Agenda. We end this broadcast.